When Catherine, Princess of Wales, and her daughter Princess Charlotte step into the public eye, it's never just another royal appearance. It feels like a moment frozen in time, something bigger than a simple outing. Their coordinated looks, their synchronized gestures, and the quiet glances they share captivate millions around the world. But the real magic? It goes far beyond the clothes. Every detail, from a hand squeeze to a subtle smile, reveals not just a mother-daughter bond, but a glimpse into the monarchy's future. And that's why people can't look away. Because behind the elegance, the style, and the charm lies a story about legacy, influence, and love. A story that makes us wonder, are we simply witnessing two royals walking side by side, or are we watching history itself unfold? Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Here, we uncover the untold layers behind the royal family, stories that often slip past the headlines. You won't want to miss what's coming next. For decades, the royal family has fascinated the globe. But there's something uniquely magnetic about Catherine and Charlotte together. Unlike many royal duos of the past, they project not only formality but also warmth, an authenticity that resonates in an era where every smile is analyzed. The late Princess Diana once mesmerized the world with her sons by her side, creating images that are still iconic today. Catherine seems to be continuing that tradition, but with her own distinct touch. With Charlotte, she presents not only polished grace but also a partnership, a shared presence that feels modern, balanced, and deeply human. And the world notices. Fashion magazines break down their outfits. Social media erupts with admiration. Even those uninterested in royalty find themselves captivated by the natural harmony between mother and daughter. Together, they don't just represent a family, they embody the monarchy's softer, more approachable face. But if fashion sparks the initial buzz, the deeper fascination lies in what their choices might actually symbolize. And that's where things get even more interesting. Royal appearances are meticulously planned, but Catherine and Charlotte have turned coordinated fashion into an art form. Think back to the 2021 Christmas service. Catherine in a striking red coat dress, Charlotte in a perfectly matched red coat. The images dominated global headlines. Red, after all, is no ordinary color. It carries weight, symbolizing strength, unity, and resilience. For the royal family, stepping out in red was almost like declaring solidarity in a single glance. Then came the Platinum Jubilee. Catherine wore elegant tones of white and blue, while Charlotte mirrored the palette in her own outfit. To the casual eye, it looked like simple coordination. But to many, it was deliberate storytelling through fabric and color, blue for stability, white for purity, and together they created an image of unity amid one of the monarchy's most historic celebrations. And who can forget the Commonwealth Day service? Catherine in soft pink with floral detailing, Charlotte in a matching dress covered in delicate blooms. Those florals weren't just pretty patterns, they carried symbolism. Renewal, growth, a child stepping into her identity while still reflecting her mother's guiding influence. Some ask, is this Catherine carefully shaping Charlotte's image with the palace's guidance? Or is it simply a mother passing down her love for style? Either way, the result is the same, an unforgettable public presence that blends tradition with modernity. But while their fashion sets trends, the real story emerges in the moments when no words are spoken at all. Look closely at photographs of Catherine and Charlotte, and you'll see something that transcends fashion. It's in the quick smile Catherine flashes at her daughter when they share a joke. It's in the way Charlotte instinctively leans toward her mother in crowded rooms. These gestures, subtle and unplanned, tell a story of trust and closeness. At the Jubilee, amid thousands of eyes and cameras, Catherine bent down to whisper something to Charlotte, who clutched her hand tightly. The scene was fleeting, but the warmth was undeniable. Despite the grandeur, despite the pressure of centuries-old tradition, what we saw was simply a mother reassuring her daughter. Royal events can often appear stiff, choreographed, even impersonal. But Catherine and Charlotte break through that coldness with moments that feel raw and real. And that's why the public clings to these glimpses. Because they prove that beneath the crown and titles lies something universal, a mother's love, a child's trust. But this bond isn't static. As Charlotte grows older, it's evolving into something even more compelling. When Charlotte was younger, It was easy to dismiss her outfits as miniature versions of Catherine's style. But that's changing. Slowly, she's stepping into her own. The cuts are shifting, the details more defined, the colors chosen to highlight her own personality. This evolution hasn't gone unnoticed. Fans online have already labeled Charlotte as a future style icon. Some even say she's inherited her grandmother Diana's charisma, combined with Catherine's elegance, a recipe for global fascination. But it isn't just about fashion. It's about identity. Catherine seems to be carefully allowing Charlotte space to express herself while guiding her gently. It's a balancing act, honoring tradition while fostering individuality. And the world is watching closely, curious to see how Charlotte will develop her presence in an environment where every choice carries weight. And that leads us to a bigger question. Could all of this be deliberate royal messaging? In the royal family, nothing is truly accidental. For generations, queens and princesses have used clothing to send subtle but powerful messages. Queen Elizabeth's bright color palettes ensured she was always visible in a crowd. Diana's bold fashion choices often broke convention, making statements without words. Catherine is no different. Her wardrobe has long walked the line between modern and respectful, sending signals about stability, continuity, and approachability. Now, Charlotte is being introduced to the same language. Matching colors, complementary tones, and carefully chosen styles, each appearance becomes a form of silent communication. Red says strength, blue says unity, florals whisper growth and femininity. Through these choices, Catherine may be preparing Charlotte not just for fashion commentary but for leadership, symbolism, and the weight of public expectation. And if this is true, then their coordinated style isn't just charming, it's strategic. A way of ensuring the monarchy remains not only relevant but beloved. But what happens when the cameras stop flashing? That's where the story deepens. Catherine and Charlotte may shine at formal events, but their casual outings reveal just as much. Strolls through the park, school runs, informal family moments. Even here, there's often a subtle coordination. Catherine in chic blazers or cozy sweaters, Charlotte in playful dresses or smart coats that echo her mother's style. It's in these quieter settings that we see how Catherine is teaching Charlotte to balance duty with authenticity. Royal life demands perfection in public, but it also requires resilience in private. By showing Charlotte how to move seamlessly between the two, Catherine is equipping her with more than style. She's giving her the tools to thrive under pressure while still being herself. And as Charlotte grows into more visible roles, these lessons will become her foundation. A foundation that may one day define her as one of the most influential royals of her generation. But Catherine and Charlotte's influence isn't limited to the palace walls. Their bond and presence ripple outward, touching people in ways that extend far beyond fashion. Every time Catherine and Charlotte step out, they inspire not only fashion lovers but families everywhere. Mothers and daughters mirror their outfits, not because they want to copy royalty, but because they want to reflect the same unity and closeness they see on display. Online, fan accounts dedicated to their style rack up millions of likes. But the real impact is emotional. People admire how, in a world filled with royal controversies, Catherine and Charlotte bring something refreshing. Tenderness, warmth, and an example of family connection that feels real. They remind us that amidst pomp and tradition, what resonates most is love. And for many, that's why Catherine and Charlotte stand apart. They're not just figures of status, they're relatable in a deeply human way. But as with all things royal, the future looms large. And that's where the anticipation builds. Charlotte is growing quickly, and the question everyone asks is, what kind of royal will she become? Will she continue coordinating outfits with Catherine, or step fully into her own identity? Will she remain a subtle figure in the background, or emerge as a leader of the next generation? The truth is, every outing feels like a clue. Every smile, every gesture, every carefully chosen outfit is part of a larger story, one that blends tradition with modernity, personal identity with royal duty. What we know for certain is that Catherine and Charlotte will continue to mesmerize the world. Whether through coordinated dresses or heartfelt moments caught on camera, they remind us that royalty is not only about crowns and castles, but about relationships that touch the heart. Catherine and Charlotte are more than just a mother and daughter in matching outfits. They are symbols of continuity, unity, and affection in a world that often feels divided. Their every appearance sparks headlines, not just for fashion, but for the way they embody love and legacy all at once. And as Charlotte steps further into the public eye, we'll all be watching. Will she follow directly in Catherine's footsteps, or surprise the world with a style and presence all her own? Whatever happens, one thing is clear: their story is only just beginning. If you've enjoyed uncovering these layers behind the royal family, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Because the next time Catherine and Charlotte step out, you'll want to be the first to know what it really means.